Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you.
Sir, how do you weigh the hosting of the COP27 in Egypt in 2022?
Well, the COP27 was much better than the COP15.
Yeah.
And this reflected actually the difference between the Trump administration and the Biden administration.
Yes.
Now, COP15 guaranteed some aid for the countries who are vulnerable to climate change, and they are not able to finance all these consequences
Yes.
of the climate change. And obviously, all these countries are not active in one way or the other in the contribution to the emissions, while rich countries are responsible for more than 95% of the emissions, and all these small countries like Egypt are contributing very little to the emissions.
Yes.
So this was one of the important conclusions of the COP27, that the rich countries and the most consuming countries of fossil fuels, like the U.S., China, Europe, and the others, are committed to finance part of the cost of climate change to developing countries. Number two is that they agreed on the temperature increase of 1.5 degrees centigrade. Number three is that they agreed on the issue of coal, which was although Egypt is now using a lot of coal in the generation of energy. However, if coal is going to be a problem, then we should all commit ourselves not to use much coal in the coming years, up to 2030, 2050, yes. And some are like India are talking about 2070.
Yes.
These are the consequences of the COP27 and the actions that Egypt has to take during these coming few years.
Yes. Dr. Qousy, why is Africa most affected by the impacts of the climate change? From your point of view, why we are the most affected continent?
Most of the countries are in the hot, arid, and semi-arid region.
Yes.
They will be affected by the change and reduction in the intensity of and the rates of rainfall.
Yes.
Egypt in particular, and all the countries facing waterways like the Mediterranean in our case.
Yes.
Our delta is very much vulnerable to any increase in sea level. And these small islands like Madagascar and the others in the ocean, they will also be sinking and affected by any rise in the water level there.
Yes.
Agriculture will mainly be affected by the lower rates of rainfall in our region.
Yes. Sir, how would you list the impacts of the climate change on Africa? What are the most clear phenomenon here which did happen due to the climate change?
but the predictions of the most of the what you call global circulation models
Yes.
say that in particular with the Nile and especially with the Eastern Nile, that is the
Yes.
that is the Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopian part of the Blue Nile, etc. They say that we have from now until 2040 we'll have some increase in the precipitation, and from 1940 to 70, and from 70 to 1100, there will be drastic reduction in the average day. So again, countries like South Africa will be affected certainly because they depend mainly on rainfall. North Africa,
Yes.
you have Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco, and Libya. They will be also certainly affected because of the less precipitation from on their side, and all these countries are much more dependent on rainfall. They are rain-fed countries. They are not river countries like the case of Egypt. So I believe that the coming years will show us some significant changes with respect to rainfall, and you can see what's happening now in Kentucky and the central part of the U.S. It's a real disaster there, huh? And these are big storms and what you call heavy, very speedy winds, etc., etc. And all these are extreme events happening because of climate change.
Yes. Dr. Diaa Qousy, our water expert, thank you very much for your precious input. Always a pleasure to listen to your precious input, sir. And moving on with our segments in Africa today, where the national flag carrier will resume its flights actually between Cairo and Johannesburg starting the 16th of December. The National Airways said that the flights to Johannesburg will depart from Cairo Thursday at 23.05 using Egypt Air's latest aircraft models. To shed more light on the latest developments concerning the resumption of flights between Cairo and Johannesburg,